Hey, everybody. Welcome to Trading the Close. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Today on Trading the Close, we have earnings like crazy after the bell. Apple, Amazon, Intel, just to name a few. In addition, the markets. Wow, what a sell off today, folks. We opened higher and it was just down, down, down. What's going on here? Yields were continuing to collapse. Generally, 6 weeks ago, 6 months ago, we would have seen the market rally on that. Instead, it's telling us people are now nervous about a recession. Is a recession on the hill? Well, I do think so. You guys know I haven't hid that from you guys one bit. I do believe we are headed for a recession. I think by year end, we will say, okay, we're probably in a recession at this point. In fact, I would dare say that over 50% of the country here already feels like they are in a recession. All right, let's get right into it here, folks. If we take a look at today's price action, the Dow is down a whopping 565 points. The NASDAQ down 458. That's 2.6%, basically reversing the entire move up yesterday. The S&P 500 down 90 points. Oil down a buck 63 after that big rally yesterday. Gold is flat, just down $4, and Bitcoin. We're gonna have to look at this, guys. This is big. Could Bitcoin be ready to close below that major pivot line that I have given you guys and that has worked so well? So all of these type of things we have to look at here, folks, as we get into it. And again, really, it is remarkable to see the price action on the drop today in the markets. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to jump into the charts and take a look at what the intraday S&P did. If we take a look at this, what we see is the S&P started the day higher and then just went down. Look at how there was literally no bounces until this last little bit of the day on the 10-minute chart. So basically over the last hour, we put in a bottom and we've started to float back up. This, again, maybe some short covering going into some of these earnings from the likes of Apple, Amazon, Intel, and actually quite a few others. I mean, there's a lot of companies that are set to report here in the after hours, and I will do my best to bring them to you guys as they come out here in the after hours period. Okay. So again, we're going to go through those other companies reporting: Coinbase, Roku, Square, DraftKings, Snapchat, Booking Holdings, Net, which is Cloudflare, Twilio, DoorDash, you name it, guys. We have a lot here just about to be released at the close. Remember, Apple doesn't report till 4:30 p.m. So let's take a look at this one first. Look at this chart, guys. This is the 10-year yield. This was yesterday on the Fed. This is today the continuation. Incredible fall. We did pierce 4% today. I will go on record and tell everyone that I did close out my TLT for about a 10% win, just under 10% today. And that was with smart money stocks and ETFs. And I did that basically because we're now below 4%. I still think we probably go lower. But again, as I explained it to members, it's like you squeeze the easy juice out of that lemon, and then getting that last little bit, you have to question, could your money be better somewhere else? So yeah, I think lower yields will probably come in, but it's not the easy trade that it was for me prior. So just to give you an insight into that. Spiders, look at this. They're rallying the S&P back above this trend line. That puts it much more in a question mark for after hours. If we had closed below this line today, folks, I would generally have said, oh my goodness, we're ready for another major flush. We may still get that flush, but again, it's not a sure thing at this point based on that trend line. Actually, they're bringing us down now with the final 50 seconds of trading here. Look at Nvidia today, guys. Big sell off. This stock on the daily chart here, let's flip over to the daily, is down 7%. This was up $3 in at the open too. So to be down $8 right now, it's really down 11 from the highs of the day. Almost, you basically put that at almost 10% off of the highs of the day. The amount of $100 billion that are swinging in this market are incredible. Look at AMD today. Huge drop back down to this technical level of support. I don't know if it'll hold, but it is back into this technical level of support right here. If it breaks, you have another technical level right around 122 that will be major support. But you could go through all of these. Micron, big drop today. Look, Micron making new lows. And by the way, look at the gap fill that's coming up. $96 to $95 here is going to be a big level on Micron. All right. As we wait for earnings, let's quickly go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, guys, take a look at this. It was below the pivot line, and look at it fight back, trying to reclaim the pivot line. My pivot line approximately is at 63,400, give or take. We'll see when this candle closes. It's 8 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's when it closes. But nonetheless, we are watching very closely. Can it hold on to this pivot line? Now, speaking of crypto, I did just close out my Ethereum short. I closed it out right down here as it was hitting this trend line. We made 10% in smart money crypto on that short on Ethereum. And again, you could see the dip right into technical support. And ultimately, it's getting a bounce. Now, could it go lower? Yeah, it could. But again, my job is to be consistent. Consistent traders make money long term. When you swing for the fences, as we know, many traders basically they end up, yeah, I would say they end up, missing out. They end up missing out. All right, guys, I'm seeing Intel crossing the docket here. Intel is selling. Whoa, look at this sell on Intel here, guys. This is not good for the semiconductor stocks here. We'll see if it continues down. So far down, not huge yet, but it is just initially coming out here. Let's watch and see. We closed on Intel at 29.10. We're now at 27.40. That's a decent sell-off, but again, pretty hefty there, and we'll see it's starting to get worse here. This is, again, going to be very negative for the semiconductor space if Intel, wow, look at Intel coming down. All right, let's go to the daily chart. What is our next level as it breaks lower? Let's zoom all the way back. 26.95, right in there. You're going to have some support. We're basically into that at this point. And if it gets below that, $25 to $24.75. So again, let's go back to the intraday and see where that's going. Oh, look at that. Right into that 27 Pierce and bouncing. Wow. And this is wild action. It's now going lower. Whoa, look at it go. So it bounced quickly off that level and down it goes. 25 is your next key level. And we're down at 26 right now. All right, I'm going to go to some other earnings here because we do have other earnings. Let's look at Amazon here real quick. And Amazon is also selling initially here. And again, this is not good for the market, almost like people knew ahead of time that this was going to be negative on these stocks. Remember, Apple will not be reporting until we get until 4:30, so we won't have Apple out. And if Apple's bad too, and Apple sells, this market is in a whole heap of trouble. Whole heap of trouble. All right, let's take a look here at Intel again. I want to see if it's getting down to that $25 level. Not yet. It's not there yet, but nonetheless, that is your next big support on Intel here as we continue to trade down. Let's go to some of these other ones. How's Coinbase? Let's see. Coinbase reports at 4:10, so it shouldn't be out yet. As of now, it's not out. Roku reports at 4:05. We're not at 4:05 just yet. So that's another one that we're going to be seeing here as we continue to watch. And let's see what else we have here. I'm just kind of scanning my list. We have Square at 4:10, 4:15 DraftKings, 4:10 Snapchat, Booking Holdings at 4 o'clock. Let's look at Booking Holdings, BKNG. This one's good for the consumer because it tells you that the consumer is still spending on travel. So far, not much movement on Booking Holdings. And then we have Twilio coming out here at 4:05 as well. DoorDash at 4:05. So we have just another minute to go or so until we get these other earnings out here. All right, just quickly while we're waiting, gold, guys, gold today. If we take a look, flattish day on gold. Oil, big drop on oil, reversing half of the upside from yesterday. Nothing new there. Still looking at support. Probably right around, we could probably raise that up a little bit, right around this 74.50 level. And then natural gas could not hold on to those gains again and went right back down. So nat gas still struggling. All right, let's go back to Intel on an after hours basis and see what's going on. It got down to, it looks like 25.73, 25.75, a little bit of a bounce back to 26, but it is still holding steady here. So again, just watching closely as we watch and see what Intel is doing here in the after hours. And this is, again, a pretty substantial sell-off on Intel. And again, I would just generally say not good for the semiconductors, not good for the semis. Oh, look at this. It's coming down to that 25 level, guys. 25 level in play. Again, 25 Pierce would be a level to potentially go long as a day trade. We'll see if it gets there. Again, wow, look at the selling pressure on Intel. That's a big move on Intel, by the way. You're now talking about a almost 20, was that almost 20, about 15% move. Wow. So that is something else right there, and we'll keep an eye on that as it comes in. So a Pierce of 25 is coming up, and let's see if it gets there. All right, let's go back to Amazon. Amazon still with a sell, not a huge sell on Amazon here, but nonetheless still seeing some selling pressure. Again, as Amazon continues to flush down here, we'll have to watch on that one. All right, just about 4:05. We're going to get into some of this other after hours action on earnings as we continue through here. And yeah, sorry, there's just a lot going on here. I'm trying to keep up to date and watching all these different charts. All right, let's take a look. We're at 4:05. Let's see what Twilio's doing. Twilio, ooh, nice little pop on Twilio, only a couple dollars. So Twilio popping on earnings here. Intel, we talked about. Coinbase is at 410. 4:05. Roku's usually a great mover on earnings. Let's take a look at Roku here. Roku, nothing yet in the after hours on Roku. And let me see what else we got here at 4:05. Marathon Digital, again, that's Mara. That's a crypto miner. I know a lot of you guys are probably interested in that one. So far, not much going on there in the after hours as well. Let's go back to Booking Holding. It looks like Booking Holdings down fractionally. Nothing major there. NET, nothing going on there yet. As again, a lot of these earnings are coming out at 410, or actually net is coming out at 415. Let's go back to Intel. I want to check one more time in on Intel here, folks, and then we'll get to just a few other little tidbits. Good bounce on Intel, guys. Nice bounce. Never pierced my 25 level. I tell you, they must have had, after that call yesterday on Meta at the short at 412, they must be playing it and putting their orders front running me or something there, because that was a great little level. But good bounce here. Nice little bounce. Very nice little bounce. Yeah, actually good bounce. Nice little pop up here. So we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, interesting. All right, guys. Other than that, listen, it's all about Apple earnings. So Amazon is weak, but it's not, at least not actually Amazon's recovering here, guys. So Amazon's recovering. If Amazon's flat and Intel's down, it's all going to come down to that Apple number. So we have to just watch that very, very closely, guys. I got to get to the charts and start looking to trade some of this stuff. This is exciting stuff, guys. Earnings season is always fun. It's risky, though. Like, holy cow, it's risky. I know the Earnings Trader is a service we have here. They are trading these numbers. They crushed it. 3 wins yesterday. They have a live room that they go in and trade for basically 1 hour of after-hours action. Very cool. You can find it on our website if you're interested. But it's high risk. You got to go light on these things because they whip around like crazy. Okay. So on that note, folks, as always, thank you for tuning in to Trading the Close. I'll be back tomorrow morning with the game plan with all the levels on these trades for tomorrow during the day. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care.